I think I lost him. Okay. Hello, welcome to Kobe's Reviews. You suggest it, I review it. If you're wondering why I'm at a different location, it's because I'm being hunted down. Yeah, a few fans got angry with me after my review of Friday the 13th Part 6, and they're hunting me down. I'm hiding here until then. I don't know where I am, but it's a good enough hiding place, I think. So, while I'm here, I might as well review another movie. Of course, I mean, that's what I do. I review movies. You know, I've always been a big fan of SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, even though the show's not really good even today, it still has a few highlights to it. For instance, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Yeah, the film movies has not been really greenlighted by fans anymore. But it's gotten a bit of a but it's been pretty discovered by new fans even today. Does it hold up, or does it fall flat on its face? I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. This is the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. The movie begins with a group of pirates getting tickets to the movie, as we then cut to Bikini Bottom. We have a dream sequence where SpongeBob is the manager of the Krusty Krab. If you have never watched the show, I highly recommend you do. Anyway, SpongeBob wakes up and is excited because he thinks he's going to be the new manager for the Krusty Krab 2. Of course, SpongeBob is not the brightest, and we then cut to the Chum Bucket, where Plankton, who is the arch rival, SpongeBob's boss, Mr. Krabs, is complaining that he's never had one customer in his life and has always tried to steal the formula but never succeeds. Until Plankton's wife, Karen, tells him that there's one plan he never used, and that's Plan Z. Plan Z is apparently the most brilliant plan Planktons have. Anyway, Plankton's planning on using Plan Z that day, and SpongeBob is too excited that he actually thinks that he's the new manager, runs onto the stage, and makes a complete fool of himself. It's revealed that SpongeBob did not get the promotion, but instead Squidward, because SpongeBob is not mature enough. Well, and he's super depressed that he goes to Goofy Goober's and eats a lot of ice cream to the point where he gets dizzy. Really? A drunk joke in a kid's film? Really, writers? Really? Anybody else agree with me? Yeah? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna join the angry mob right now. What? Okay, maybe I'm not. Okay, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving this room. Anyway, SpongeBob, still incredibly dizzy, goes to the Krusty Krab while after King Neptune's crown's been stolen, he goes to the Krusty Krab with his daughter Mindy, and he's planning on executing Mr. Krabs. But Mindy stops King Neptune and saying that SpongeBob can go to Shell City and get King Neptune's crown. Yeah, Shell City happens to be where it is. Apparently, it's the most dangerous place in the entire world, and if SpongeBob and Patrick go there, they may never come back. Okay. SpongeBob and Patrick go to Shell City riding a paddy wagon, which is pretty much a giant Krabby Patty car, and they're stopped by two truckers who will not give them gas at a gas station, but instead tease them. And guess what? Their car gets stolen, and SpongeBob and Patrick have to continue their journey on foot. They find where the paddy wagon is, but it turns out that they may not be able to get it since the key is missing, and the same guy who stole the car is in this manly bar, and it looks like SpongeBob and Patrick may get the crud beaten out of them. And after a bubble party that SpongeBob and Patrick have while hiding in the bathroom, the owner of the place sees a bubble, and SpongeBob and Patrick and all the other men in the bar are forced to stand in the line and listen to the Goofy Goober theme song. And SpongeBob and Patrick are about to crack, but two other guys accidentally ruin it, and then SpongeBob and Patrick get away with the key. How Patrick got the key, I'm not going to question it. Anyway, SpongeBob and Patrick seem to be going on their way, but it turns out Plankton got the formula, and he knew SpongeBob and Patrick would try to get the crown back, and so he hired a scary fish named Dennis. He wears a leather jacket, biker gloves, cowboy hat, sunglasses, and a bandana, and black pants and black boots. And did I mention he's voiced by Alec Baldwin? Oh dear me. SpongeBob and Patrick seem to have been going on their way, and they're attacked by and they go to this old lady selling ice cream in the middle of a place where a bunch of fish skeletons are. What? But it turns out it's really a giant fish monster, and they get attacked by it. It's called a frogfish, by the way. Yeah, okay. If you don't know, frogfish have these little lines on their heads, which have these fake worms on them to lure fish. They translate to an ice cream stand in the movie for SpongeBob and Patrick. SpongeBob and Patrick get chased, and the frogfish eats their Pattymobile, and the frogfish ends up getting eaten itself, and is pulled down into a giant trench full of monsters. SpongeBob and Patrick decide to call it quits, and Mindy shows up and shows them that Plankton has mind controlled everybody in Bikini Bottom. How? Well, Plankton was selling these bucket helmets with the Chumbucket logo on it, but really they're mind control helmets. How that works, I don't know. Mindy manages to get them to man up after they cry for way too long. She gives them mustaches. It's really 2 pieces of seaweed on their faces. They jump down to the trench, and we get a song for absolutely no apparent reason. Turns out SpongeBob and Patrick may be able to make it, but Dennis quickly catches up to him. Turns out, and before they get the boot, and yes, pun intended, shut up, a giant boot steps on Dennis, and it turns out it's the monster, the Cyclops, that Mindy was warning the two about. And the Cyclops is really a guy in an old-fashioned diver suit. He kidnaps SpongeBob and Patrick and takes them back to the human world. And this turns into what I like to call the Who Framed Roger Rabbit part of the film, where SpongeBob and Patrick are in the live-action world, and they're still 2D animated. SpongeBob and Patrick find out that Shell City is really a gift shop on a beach. And we get one of the most saddest scenes in the movie, where the Cyclops puts SpongeBob and Patrick on a table with a light on it, and they dry up and die. But after their tears cause the light to burst, and the smoke touches the sprinkler ceilings, they get all wet up. They get wet up again, and they're all right. Not only that, but all the other sea animals get wet and are back to their normal forms. And they attack the Cyclops. And it's kind of funny seeing a grown man getting attacked by a bunch of sea creatures. So, I forgot to mention that Minnie gave him a magical bag of wind, which they could use to get their way back to Bikini Bottom. But Patrick, being an idiot, opens up the bag and it flies off on their own. As all hope may be lost, they're saved by, get this, David Hasselhoff makes a cameo in this movie. He pretty much swims back to Bikini Bottom, and while they're there, Dennis comes back, and it looks like SpongeBob and Patrick are doomed once again. But afterwards, they manage to make it to Bikini Bottom, and David Hasselhoff throws them back to Bikini Bottom, and it looks like they've made it. But guess what? Plankton had everything planned, and he puts a mind control helmet on King Neptune, and he gets mind controlled. Looks like they're dead until SpongeBob makes a speech saying that he might be a kid, but he managed to do anything people said he couldn't do. And yeah, he's kind of right. You see, SpongeBob then sings a song which makes all the helmets come off, and Plankton gets arrested. Finally. Anyway, SpongeBob is then declared manager of the Krusty Krab, and the movie ends with a really nice, well-made ending. So that was the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and it's not really that bad. Yeah, it's got a few problems. The animation's nice and all, and it feels like an episode of the show. Well, an extended episode of the show. Never mind. The cameos were well timed. David Hasselhoff is amazing in this movie, and as always, Tom Kenny steals the show as SpongeBob. I don't have a problem with this movie. For once, this movie gets my stamp of approval, but I still don't know why those two are coming after me. Hmm? Hmm? Oh boy. I still don't get why those two came after me. Hmm? Yeah? Say what? You should just wanted an autograph. Why were you chasing me then? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for clearing that up. Bye. Okay. Turns out I was not being hunted down. Well, might as well get back home. I'm Kobe the Reviewer. I'll see you next time.